good rhythm, Hassan Ali. His run-up is flowing, and the action is easy. And all studies will tell you that the velocity of the approach to the crease contributes maybe 15–20% of the pace of your delivery. Can't be too quick. You have to get there with some pace, but it must be pace that allows you to deliver efficiently and on balance. Great start this. More royalty, right of screen. The Raja. This is excellent. 1 for 8 or 3 so far for Hassan Ali. 43 for 2. Talked about that squad. Kesrick Williams we saw in the T20s. I think some really good young cricketers. There's a young man off spinner, John Ross Jagassar from Trinidad, who has a little bit of a delivery off spinner that goes the other way. Rovman Powell, I think that he is good enough to eventually work his way into the 50-over aspect of West Indies at a high level. He was here for the T20s. So Chadwick Walton didn't make a mark. Asad Fooderden's played before. Delon Johnson, tall left-arm seamer. So that's the List A aspect of that tour, Waka. And if we go to the 4-day team, you asked about pace. Kemar Roach is going down there. He has played a lot of cricket for the West Indies, but has lost a little bit of rhythm and pace and form in recent years. Reynard Leveridge hasn't played first-class cricket. A young man we saw in Jamaica turned up at the nets to bowl at the West Indies, and they were all so impressed with him that they've made a place for him going down there. Shamar Brooks, I love that young man captaining this team. A lot of good talent. I'm keeping my eye on this. Of course, Kieran Powell, who was out of West Indies cricket for a couple of years, has now made himself available again. So he's starting off at base level. Evan Lewis was here in the T20s. Shimron Hetmeyer captained the West Indies under-19 to victory in the last World Cup. I definitely rate him highly. He's going to play international cricket at some point.
Well, is it the first time they're picking someone from the nets, or is it has happened before? It has happened with Pakistan, like Wasim Akram got picked from the nets as a net bowler. He played his first-class game was in New Zealand. He went with the test team and played a 3-day game, the first-class game for Pakistan on the tour. But I'm not sure about West Indies. Have they picked someone else before that?
I think Fidel Edwards had played some cricket at first-class level, but at the time that he bowled to Brian Lara in the nets, wasn't in the squad, 2003 I think it was. Lara was so impressed that they drafted him in. That's the only one that I know of. Maybe to someone else, Fazir can tell you about Float Woods or someone back in 1929 or something like that. But it's just the inclination, as you mentioned, pace. The West Indies are on the lookout to find other bowlers who can bowl 140 clicks. And that's one of the big drives right now. You mentioned Shannon Gabriel today. Alzari Joseph is here. Bit of a mixed action, but he'll get stronger. He's got to work on his strength, Alzari. So rebuilding time, an interesting time. franchise cricket starts next month. So interesting to see in its third season how the Caribbean Professional League goes. Whether it kicks on further and improves more.
Round the wicket, Wahab. On the ground, Wahab. End of the over, 46 for 2.
Skewed by Bravo. Both openers now gone for the West Indies, and they're now reliant on their two most experienced batsmen. The required rate getting up towards 7 runs per over. Putting everything into every delivery, Wahab Riaz, and probably going to need elbow pads at some point.
Required rate of 6.9 now, and maybe the residue of the T20 games we saw in the opening half of the batting. They were concerned about not losing wickets. To some extent it worked, but now they're just lagging behind. It's good that Samuels is in there. We know how dangerous a player he is, but it'll come to a stage when he'll really have to push on. Just sense there's a little bit of lack of confidence in the batting unit at the moment.
Excellent delivery. Really mixing up nicely. Hassan Ali encouraged with the wicket already taken.
This is what impressed one and all in England. Mixes up his pace as well. He's a little faster than he actually looks. Skids onto you, hustles onto you. And in England, he did this so well. He bowls a mean bouncer as well. There you go again. Again skidded through. Bravo thought it was short enough to pull, but just tends to skid it through, and it's through him before his actual bat came down.
They've both been known, Bravo and Samuels, to start very, very slowly. But they need to stick around for the West Indies. 15 overs gone, 48 for 2. Pakistan were on course for a total in excess of 300 before the floodlights failed, and when we resumed, the match reduced to 49 overs, and the West Indies tightened things up well. 24 of just 27 deliveries and picking up 3 wickets in that period to give themselves just a bit of a chance. Shoaib Malik didn't really get going with the bat. Chance now with his off breaks.
Our very own Ramiz Raja talking with the pioneer of cricket at Sharjah, Abdul Bukhatir. Mohammad Jamil, who produces these wickets day in and day out. Every single game he's been here. 225 and counting.
And I'm sure he's more delighted than anyone else that the ground has been rehabilitated, because for some time it fell out of favor. All sorts of issues tied into it, away from the actual cricket being played. We then saw the development of the brand new facility in Abu Dhabi, the Sheikh Zayed Stadium, which is a magnificent facility, the International Cricket Stadium in Dubai. But again, it's such a privilege for me to be here for the first time, because you would have seen this venue for so many years in the heyday of West Indies cricket, the passion, the excitement of the fans taking on Pakistan. And yeah, the ground may not have developed a whole lot. Yes, the lights have gone up, but I think there's something still to be said about grounds that have a bit of character. And I know Sir Viv could probably identify with that in his native Antigua, with the new ground that was built there. The ground that bears his name, the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. But the old ARG, the Antigua Recreation Ground in the heart of the capital, St. John's, that was a ground with so much history. So much cricket would have been played there even before it got test status in 1981, that it was a pity that it has essentially been mothballed for international cricket. Still used a lot though for football, for carnival celebrations. 16 overs gone, 52 for 2. West Indies some distance behind on the comparison. Remember, their target is 287. Match reduced to 49 overs per side because of the floodlight failure. Spin from both ends as Mohammad Nawaz comes on.
This was always going to be the challenge when you're chasing a score here at Sharjah on a slow wicket. The middle part of the innings where you need to face the spinners, rotate the strike. When you want to build a decent enough score to then actually launch towards the target, you need to be picking singles. And this is where West Indies will be tested. We talked about Samuels and Bravo taking their time when they come into bat, and Samuels in particular relies a lot on his boundary hitting. But with the ball not really coming onto the bat and the spinners on, they still need to maintain a run rate.
That's a lengthy discussion. Rami is involved. Bish and Wakar were talking about players who just came out of nowhere and burst onto the international scene. Marlon Samuels got the call as a 20-year-old to come to Australia to replace the injured Shivnarine Chandapol. And just a couple of first-class matches to his name for his native Jamaica, and slotted in comfortably into the middle order. The unfortunate thing is that he didn't and hasn't really fulfilled all of those expectations, because he really looked the part against the best team in the world at the time. Darren Bravo has had to live with the inevitable comparisons with Brian Lara. They are relations, distant relations. They come from the same village in Trinidad, Santa Cruz. Got him! A bit too ambitious. And Mohammad Nawaz strikes at the start of his first over.
A little faster and quicker by Nawaz. Skidded this one through and just misjudged the length a bit. Too full to cut, it skidded onto the stumps. Nawaz has Bravo. Bravo gone for 12 of 28. It's 54 for 3. And drinks come onto the field.
Let's look at the wickets.
Bowled it a little quicker, and it was a bit too full, beaten for pace more than anything. Bravo trying to cut, wrong choice of shot, but good bowling from Nawaz. He bowled slower throughout that over, and that last one slightly quicker. Dinesh Ramden comes in to bat. He'll have to bat extremely well, because West Indies in a bit of a pickle. There hasn't been any momentum whatsoever to this innings. Again. And now with the spinners on in tandem, it's difficult for them to really get those runs on the board in a quick time. Marlon Samuel will have to bat through the innings for West Indies to have any chance.
You talked about being in a pickle, and Marlon Samuels has to provide the jerk seasoning to really spice up this West Indies innings, because at the moment it looks pretty flat, pretty tasteless. Just distracted a bit by some movement behind the bowler's arm. Talking earlier about his record over the last 12 months or so, averaging 48 in the past year, a couple of hundreds and a couple of 50s, Marlon Samuels. And Dinesh Ramden has really endured a bit of a roller coaster over the last couple of years in West Indies cricket. Dropped from the test squad. Made some comments about the chairman of selectors, who's here with us. Courtney Brown made those comments via Twitter. We know how players react, how individuals react on social media to disappointments.
Does play the spinners well though. One of the better West Indian players of spin, and he'll need all that today. 56 for 3, 7.33 the asking rate. He's used this particular ball to good effect. That little seamer that tends to swing away, that's the selective we're talking about.
Chairman to select is Courtney Brown, former West Indies wicketkeeper batsman. Not an easy job being a selector at the best of times in West Indies cricket. So many perspectives, so many experts, so many selectors all over the region. Shoaib Malik remaining sharp. Good over, good tight over. 2 overs for 6 runs, 56 for 3 after 18. West Indies hemmed in by good disciplined bowling from Pakistan. They've picked up wickets, removed the openers and just gotten Darren Bravo. Mohammad Nawaz a wicket in his first over.
They need someone to stand up, surround one player, exceptional innings. Because so far this tour, their batting just hasn't put Pakistan under pressure at all. And they need Samuels, maybe Ramdin to play innings of substance where they can test Pakistan.
Right there, Baz. They just need to show some competitiveness because we haven't seen that as yet. We saw a bit of that after the floodlights came back on sufficiently enough for play to resume, at least for that passage of play. In the T20s, they were almost non-existent.
Just need to show a little bit of intent, just show a little bit of fight. Because Pakistan have had it all too easy this series.
Yeah, lovely bowling, yeah. आखिरी अच्छा करना है, शाबाश.
Just 4 runs from 2 overs. Mohammad Nawaz, 58 for 3. Six bowlers used, all very economical. Oh!
That little away swinger again from Shoaib Malik. And Samuels gets an edge. Well, a good result, a couple of runs. He's bowled this delivery a lot, that finger ball, if you could call it, just that arm ball which swings away and keeps on going from the right-hander.
Still no slip in place. even after this.
रिद्धि है रिद्धि
And that's going to change now. Or is it? Rose tinted glasses. Maybe he's a West Indian supporter. Found the gap for a couple.
A little bit of flight from Shoaib Malik. Slip in place. Still not able to get to terms with the pace of the wicket, Samuels. That was pretty short. It was a poor delivery, couldn't get it away.
Oh. आजो
Good stop. Came at him awkwardly. Just on the edge of that circle at cover.
जाना बॉल शाबाश शाबाश
Couple of deliveries which Samuels couldn't put away in this over. Overpitched one. Saw one pretty short.
Yeah, that's the way, that's the way. That's your line.
But maybe just feeling the pressure now because scoreboard isn't moving. And Pakistan are bossing this game.
We'll keep the strike, Marlon Samuels, at the end of over number 20. It's 64 for 3.
अज्जू सामने रहना, अज्जू सामने रहना, अज्जू अज्जू सामने रहना। सही है।
A really substantial partnership developing as yet. And only 30 overs to go. Well, 29. Need to remind ourselves it's 49 overs, not 50. Floodlight failure resulting in the loss of just over an hour. Pakistan were going really well at that point. The 45th over, 260 for 6.
मान
Finished at 284 for 9. 3 wickets for Carlos Brathwaite. About 100 for Babar Azam, his first in one-day international cricket. 50 for Sharjeel Khan.
इमाद 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 come on
Just not being able to get the ball away. Scramble singles, first 3 balls and just 1 run off it. And maybe there was a chance of a run out if Imad had picked up.
yeah lovely line
Pakistan have certainly dried the runs up and won't be long till something will have to give.
oh yes buddy yes beauty beauty
And the required rate is almost 8 now.
शाबाश शाबाश
Almost 60 deliveries since the last boundary. They'll have to wait a while longer. Missed out there, Ramdin. 65 for 3, 21 overs completed.
Shoaib Malik, we're wide. Partnership is 11 from 25, so quite a few times Samuels and Ramdin have been hitting the ball straight to a solitary fielder on that leg side of the bowling of the left-arm spinner and from Malik himself. Goes down the ground. That's a lovely shot. Use of the feet. Typical Samuels, starting to push things on.
That's the way when he's going to go big. He likes to go straight, and whenever he's in good nick and he's striking them well, that's the place that I think when he gets going, he's looking to score. But it looks a very slow sort of a track, and you can see the guys trying to make room to, and you hear the stuff over and over again, especially when you have a slow track. You cannot afford to expose your stumps too often. You've got to look to play straight up the wicket. We would have seen Darren Bravo been guilty of that, trying to make some room outside off stump. Ball kept a little low. Here's Samuels again going big. Wasn't quite to the pitch, but just let the arms go. And when you let the arms go, that's the result. You look at that. Wow, that's a wonderful sight, isn't it?
I think the bats have an enlarged sweet spot these days. Generally, what Ramdin will look to do is, when he's in a confident mood and in form, he's very good at being busy between the wickets, similar to a role that Sarfraz plays. Takes a while to get into his big shots, but at his best he rotates strike well. Not sure where he is with his form right now.
That's the sort of stuff I'll be thinking as well too, because I've always felt he was a busy guy. He's an individual who doesn't look like he's going to tear you to shreds, but for some reason always seems to get the job done. Wonderful timer of a cricket ball, and he would need to add the sort of support for Samuels to accomplish some of the stuff that you would have seen earlier, making a little room. Good placement. Result 2 runs. But West Indies would need these two to go on for quite some time, to at least add the confidence to the batting unit to come, the power hitters.
I wonder when Pakistan go back to C, to pace. He's taken a liking to him. This has been a good over for the West Indies. 17 off it, 82 for 3.